Hey Jordan, how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
So my first question for you is what was life like before you became a Christian?
I guess I fall into that bracket of, like always being a Christian or like grew up in a Christian home and I knew God was good. I knew He loved me. Like I knew all the buzzwords like grace, salvation, faith, but like I didn't like know it. It was only until about maybe a year ago that I feel like I really became a Christian. If I could say what life was like, I like struggled a lot with like identity and like a bit of background info. Like, so my dad is from England, my mum is from Papua New Guinea, but I grew up in China, and before this, I lived in Hong Kong. So like very confusing, and some people think it's cool when I tell people, but it just feels like I don't know. I feel like a fruit salad, just like a mix of everything, and yeah, I just felt very bothered, very much like an outsider wherever I went, and I think my way of coping with it is trying to excel or be exceptional or exalt myself in whatever I did or what I was doing. That kind of fueled me to like start like an agency in Hong Kong where I was living and had a lot of fun with it. So we were like an agency that was based around youth culture and entertainment, and I work with a lot of people who actually who didn't. I made an active choice to work with people who didn't have a university degree to give them opportunities to be able to like excel. So I thought, okay, cool, like doing something good. God's gonna co-sign this. Like God's on your side, that kind of thing. I'm not doing anything bad. I'm helping people, and yeah, like it went like for 3 years. Just I like I poured everything into it. It was I think it was going pretty well. We were doing stuff with like Red Bull and international brands that wanted to like launch in Asia. So it got to a point where I thought I was like really cool. I thought like I was the guy. I thought I was on this trajectory where I was gonna make it. But I guess I got caught up in that world and made some decisions that were not very wise. But what really kind of shook me was like I'm sure you guys might know, like I don't want to get overly political or anything, but the protests in Hong Kong. Um, that's kind of when the big like alpha questions came in, like who am I, where am I going, who are my people, what do I stand for? And so yeah, that's when I started, like kind of having this tension between what I was doing and striving and worldliness and these big questions.
Okay, so I guess it's kind of a double question now. But my
Yeah.
question is, why did you, or what caused you to walk away for a bit, and what is it that caused you to come back? What brought you back?
Like I said, I knew all the buzzwords, but I don't know, I didn't think Christianity was fun. And also, I just felt like I mentioned before, like identity was something I really struggled with. And, at church, it came to a point where I almost kind of resented it a bit because I'd walk into like a small group or church community and I would feel, oh, this is the place that I would feel family, like a home. Like, you read the Bible and you read Acts and these people give their lives up for each other and their family. And I'm going to places and I feel, oh, like no one knows my name. No one really knows my story. No one like cares for me. And so I was just like, oh man, if these people don't care for me, let me just do my thing. And so, yeah, I kind of, like I said, I was like I knew God and I knew His goodness, and I was trying to kind of intertwine maybe my striving and trying like my work with trying to be good or trying to do the right thing. But obviously, you make one small bad decision, it leads to another small bad decision, and before you know it, you know, you haven't prayed, or like the only time you talk to God is God, I'm sorry, God, I'm sorry, or like asking to like bless your food. So all God really knew about me was that I was really sorry and I ate a lot. And so that was me. And with the Hong Kong protests, I don't know how much you know about it, but I was kind of like me and my friends were on like the front lines of that and not protesting, but we were trying to film it. So we were trying to work on this like kind of long length documentary for it because this was our friends on the front lines. And so I was going from like event, like work related event, and then afterwards running into the changing room, running to the bathrooms, putting on my press jacket, getting my gas mask on and going on the front lines and getting tear gas and getting like, yeah, like guns pointed at me and all that. And just with, and I kind of like, I got to a point last year where I just really needed a break. And so, yeah, like I knew Anna Glover. Some of you guys might know her, and decided to come to London, just take a break. My mum was doing something here, so I decided to fly out for like a few days, and like I met with Anna, and we were just hanging out, and she just like called me out. She was just, yeah, I think she was just being like discerning and in tune with the spirit, and she was just saying that like she felt like I was in like dark places and kind of struggling with that, and getting like, if I like allowed myself to, something along the lines of, if I allowed myself to keep on going, then I just kind of slide into it. And I was like, whoa, at that moment, like it was the first time someone like G-checked me for ever, you know? And at that moment, I didn't say a special prayer. I didn't do anything crazy or have any sort of super spiritual experience. I think just the position of my heart was like, okay, God, like maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I need to like turn to you. And the next day after hanging out, we went to Rev Church, and that was my first time there. And just feeling like, whoa, okay, like there's this group of people who just, there's all sorts of people, but they love each other, they're for each other, they know each other. And I thought like, okay, cool, this is like, I want this. This is good. This is church. I want to be part of this. So after seeing that, I was like, okay, like again, same thing. The position of my heart was like I don't know, God, but like I'm for you. Like just whatever you want to do, like just do it. And long story short, I went to Hong Kong, like had an office, closed the office, had staff, let them go. That was really hard. Closed down everything, and let go of clients that have been like breaking my back for years to get, said no to different projects, just because I felt like it's just the whole thing of obedience. I felt God was like, you know, like, will you lay this down for me? I'm like, cool, but like I lay it down, but I hope that's like a rhetorical question. Not rhetorical question, I hope you don't really mean that, but I guess you did. So like laid everything down, and next thing was like, you know, like God being giving me the okay to come to England, and I moved to Tottenham. Don't know what's installed, don't know what's happening, but also like moving here, pursuing my girlfriend in like a godly Christian way. Um, yeah, and just trying to take these steps of obedience. I guess that's where I am now. And in my mind, I thought, okay, cool. So you do all this, you lay these things down for God, and He'll like hook you up. He'll like make everything good. But that kind of doesn't really feel part of it. Like I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. Don't really fully know. Got all these kind of question marks of what's next. And yeah, I guess where I am now is just trying to be obedient, trying to like continue to have this position of God, you know best, you know better than me. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Hope that's not information overload.
That's really cool. And I guess like you've been talking about now that you're here and like just being obedient. And I guess the theme of our service today is blind faith. Would you say that it says blind faith, but would you say that blind faith goes really hand in hand with obedience? Because you've moved halfway across the world to like listen to God, to follow what He's got for you. And in some senses, like you've known what you're getting yourself into. So it's, I don't know, it's blind faith in one sense, but not, and in other terms, like from what I've heard, it's also really, really assured faith. What would you say about that, and just like what's next?
Yeah, it's like it is a tough one. Like I'm not even gonna like, yeah, just be here and say like having faith is easy. It's hard, but also like being really humbled, or like feeling like God's humbled me or like disciplined me. Like my best day in like knowing Him is better than like my best day, you know, sorry, my worst day of knowing Him and knowing Jesus is better than my best day outside of it. And so when I reflect and I think about that, I'm like, okay, good, cool, God, like you got me.
That's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing. That's like, yeah, it's really cool to hear that. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. We're now just gonna listen to a song. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.
Cool.